You want to see it.
Alrighty, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I am your host, TC Restani, and I'm here with my esteemed panel of experts. Unbelievable. Colonel Bull Montana, are you still alive?
Yes, I'm still alive, TC.
All right, we'll get into why you're still alive after I do all the other introductions. The one and the only Vinny Capelli is here.
Always a pleasure. Your pleasure.
It is always my pleasure. And, of course, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time and Patrick Stewart's favorite person, the one and the only South Boston Jeff is here.
Hey, what's going on? You don't ask if I'm still alive. I tried that smoothie, too. Jeez.
Well, we're going to get into that right now.
Speaking of which, yeah.
Okay, it's been 7 days since the barbecue smoothie challenge, and it's on YouTube, and a lot of people around the world have watched it, and a lot of people have commented on it around the world, especially our good friends over in England. The Geek Force said, you should get an award, Colonel Bull Montana, but we are now 7 days removed from that ultimate challenge, and we have the big question. How are you feeling?
Well, TC, I see that someone did not show up. I believe he's a little bit under the weather.
Okay, let me give you a little behind-the-scenes story here. After we stopped recording the podcast last week, two individuals on the panel, I am not one of them, and neither is Vinny Capelli.
Absolutely not.
Tried the barbecue smoothie that was in the giant blender. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/AfterHoursTC. And, of course, if you follow me on Twitter, which is also at AfterHoursTC, you can find the clip. Now, in this smoothie last week, we had a hot dog with a hair on it, a corn on the cob, potato salad, barbecue sauce,
Half-eaten buffalo chicken sub,
a half-eaten buffalo chicken sub,
Diet Coke.
and Diet Coke. And we blended it all up, and Colonel Bull Montana, even though you got out of the hospital that day, you did it, my friend, and everybody's applauding you around the world. But the other two individuals that tried it are my good friend and greatest celebrity stalker of all time, South Boston Jeff. You had a big gulp, and I tweeted out a picture of that, you gulping that down. What did that actually taste like?
Well, it just tasted like the whole barbecue experience wrapped up in one mouth and everything. Yeah.
I mean, it was warm. I mean, we didn't even put ice in it or anything. I mean, it was like drinking like hummus or puke.
Well, yeah. But I did not puke any of it up, but it was very vile coming out of the other end, and that wasn't until the next day when, we went to Mohegan Sun Casino. I feel bad for whoever had to clean up the huge mess I made at the bathroom stall in the season's all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah.
In the years I've come to know Jeff, though, he's got to be impervious, because this is talking the same man who had a cyst on his testicles and still came and did a show.
Still did a show. Okay, but the person, speaking of puke, our good friend Hollywood Joel, who is not here tonight, actually tried that smoothie, and he ran to the bathroom down here at the podcast penthouse and left a little deposit in the podcast penthouse toilet. He puked more than I think that was inside the smoothie, and that is the reason why he is not here this week. He actually got very ill from the barbecue smoothie. Colonel, you and Jeff obviously have cast iron stomachs, but poor Hollywood Joel, I think he got his stomach pumped after. He didn't even go join us for the Chinese feast after.
No, he did not.
I tried to attempt to call him because I was trying to help him get his car fixed because he went to the wrong place.
Yeah.
And I spoke to his woman.
Yeah.
And his woman said flat out,
Lola B
told me on the telephone he is completely incapacitated in bed, somewhat palish, like grayish green, and he is just ralphing, puking,
not
and
squallanting.
pissing. Not squallanting.
Okay.
And pissing out his ass nonstop.
Pissing out his ass.
Yes, that's what they call when you have the really
So
bad
that's what-
diarrhea.
that's
You never
what-
had that experience
Well,
before?
you just told us you had it down at the casino.
He can't even hold water down.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I know he's going to try to be here next week. Hopefully he's feeling a little bit better from the barbecue smoothie experience. But I've had some people give other suggestions of smoothies that we should have the Colonel drink throughout the year. And one of them, that you are a paisano like myself down here, and one person suggested that you do a lasagna smoothie.
Ooh.
You think you could do a lasagna smoothie, Colonel?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, we're writing down all these suggestions. We're not saying that you're doing this next week or anytime soon.
What do you mix it with, though?
Ricotta cheese.
Yeah, but see, that's pretty easy because you can do that in you pour, the tomatoes, the gravy, not sauce, gravy.
Right.
You put gravy in with it, and you could do that at home because people mash their stuff up and just,
I have a modification. Colonel's over there's getting sick. Think of this. I have a modification. How about the all-you-can-eat Chef Boyardee smoothie of all that canned pasta we could put in there, like the raviolis and the SpaghettiOs and all that other junk.
What about a Chinese food smoothie?
Someone suggested that as well, with a lot of
that would be different.
They wanted to have Peking raviolis, boneless spear ribs, and that hot Chinese mustard inside the smoothie. What do you think about that, Colonel?
Mash it up with some good tea. I'm sorry
That's
to interrupt.
negative on that
Oh,
one.
you don't want to do the Chinese one, huh?
Jeff's smiling over there. I bet you Jeff would do it.
Jeff, like I said, Jeff has a cast iron stomach. Jeff. Now, how long have you been? I'm going to give you a little prompts here. How long have you been sober now, Jeff?
Oh, about 3 years.
Okay,
Yeah, over
now,
3 years.
Now you were a heavy boozer back then.
Oh yeah,
you would have drank.
My stomach is trained to digest all kinds of all types of booze.
I bet back then if you drank lighter fluid or gasoline, you would have been okay.
Oh yeah, just a regular Friday night for me.
I think a friend of ours that we know, the signature boy there, I think he drinks lighter fluid and gasoline.
He could.
He definitely does.
Now,
I think he's drinking right now, the lighter fluid.
He probably
right
is.
now.
okay, so would you do the Chef Boyardee smoothie, Colonel?
Well, I can't do it right now.
I'm not saying right now. Somewhere down the line.
Maybe probably 3 months from now I would probably do it.
No, I think about it. We could do beefaroni.
Okay.
We could do beef ravioli.
Okay.
We could do SpaghettiOs. You got to do SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, even though that's not Chef Boyardee, but that's close enough.
And
I think that's Franco-American.
that's Franco-American. But Chef Boyardee has like their own version of it.
Right.
It's kind of going to be similar to like doing pasta. Honestly, if you think about it, same thing as doing pasta.
Now here's the one I think we're going to do in November: the Thanksgiving dinner smoothie,
Oh, I might do that.
where it's turkey, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, gravy, and turkey guts, turkey
Oh, forget
giblets.
it. I'm done. Nope, not happening.
What do you think about that, Colonel? You want to be a pilgrim and have a turkey?
That's a negative on that.
Oh, well, maybe Jeff will do it.
Wait, if we remove the guts, would you do it without the guts?
I will do it. The thing that I'm dreading is the Mexican smoothie. That's what I'm dreading.
Okay, well, no one
ground up-
suggested that one.
Well, I was thinking about after my horrible experience, what could be even worse than that? And then it came to me, the Mexican smoothie
Oh, okay.
with all this ground beef, chili, salsa.
Jeez.
Oh,
You'd be
maybe a
pissing
little
out your ass.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You'd be getting your stomach
I'd be.
bumped.
I could win a contest for projectile. I'm sorry.
Projectile sharding out there.
Sharding.
Now, Colonel, you drank the smoothie and whatnot, and I understand, Colonel, through the grapevine from my connections down at the PK, which is the pizza kitchen.
That's a shameless bump.
Okay, well, no, they gave me a free slice today when I picked them up. So
Oh, must be nice.
I'm always gonna
Must be nice.
I'm always gonna give them a free plug. Colonel, Cupid's arrow has struck you again. Now, for those of you who remember, on our very first podcast 1 month ago, we talked about how you earlier this year vanished for 4 months because you were shacked up with some broad that no one knew about, and now all of a sudden, you seem to have the Cupid's arrow once again. And give us the 411 on the new love interest of Colonel Bull Montana.
Well, one day I was sitting at the beach on a little break, and one of the young ladies that work down the pizza place, it goes, hey, I get this nice hot Jamaican pretty mama.
Oh, yeah?
So I started talking with her.
Oh, yeah? What'd you talk about? Not the
No,
smoothie, right?
No, I was just going to.
Well, how do you? Before you answer that, how do you be a Casanova down there? How do you work the ladies, Colonel Bull Montana? Inquiring minds want to know. What do you talk about that woos these women?
I just want to find out from this senorita from Jamaica what Jamaica was all how the Jamaica is the difference between USA, how the United States looks And I just asked her how Jamaica looked.
Well, Jeff can tell you the difference.
Oh,
the
yeah,
weed is a lot better.
Oh, yes. Rastafari weed is a religion out in Jamaica. That's one thing I liked. Because it's actually a religion. You can't in America we can't bust a Jamaican Rastafarian if we catch them smoking weed.
The only
'cause
Jamaican
they're
I know, I didn't know
hard.
one personally, but remember Screwface from the Steven Seagal movie?
Screwface. What man of face be a screw?
I knew you'd get that. So
He have 2 head and 4 eyes.
he did. So Colonel, give us the 411 now. Where are you going to take this Jamaican hottie? You going to show her the sandcastles down at the beach?
Is she a voodoo witch queen?
No, speaking of which, I get a gig tomorrow night. I'm just going to tell your fans now, if you're down Revere Beach, there is a big show tomorrow night with yours truly, Bull Montana and Red Ball Jet.
Okay, well, probably this podcast would have started airing after your concert, but you never know. We could have footage of going down there. You playing, what are you, the tambourine or,
Yes, I
or
am.
the triangle?
I play tambourine, and I also sing.
Now, look, I got to tell you, in TC, you know.
Yeah.
So if people that don't out there. Now, Bull goes way back. We have some pictures. You've especially seen the pictures, and we've done. Bull has been around a lot of hot ladies in his day.
Oh,
When he was
absolutely.
younger, he was surrounded by women. I mean, these women used to surround Bull. I don't know how he does it.
Neither do
Over
I.
the years, I kid you not, one day me and him were strolling down New York City. We're walking down Times Square, and here come 3 young girls, right? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm macking it. I'm with the older guy, right?
You
I'm thinking,
were macking it. He was big macking it.
right? They almost completely ignore me, and the 3 of them were around this guy like a teddy bear,
Well,
and they were infatuated with him.
Colonel, like I've said before, you are the real-life Forrest Gump. Enough about your band thing, which is going to be fantastic anyway. I want to get back to this. Now, what are you going to do? I mean, you just shacked up with this woman for 4 months. Not the Jamaican, but the other woman that you shacked up with. You were a bachelor for like 2 months. Now, all of a sudden, you're working an angle with this Jamaican chick. What are you going to do? Where are you going to schmooze with it? You haven't answered the question.
No, I just want to walk around with this young lady right now.
Oh, yeah? How young is she?
She's almost up to me, you know.
So she's a MILF, huh?
A gilf? You mean a gilf?
You mean, as you know, in a couple of months I'll be over the hill. You know.
Well, we're not talking about you. We know you're going to be 60 on September 26th. You remind us every week when your birthday is. But what do you have planned? I mean, you know, your birthday's not that far away. Maybe she could be, giving you a big birthday party or something.
Wait, are you thinking of now? Bull, serious question. Known you a long time. First question, actually, I got 2. Is she a voodoo queen?
No, she's not.
Okay.
Okay, it's good.
All right, that's good. That's good because maybe she has the doll of Bull.
She'd have the doll of you and she'd be poking it.
Probably.
Nah.
Now, my other question is, are you thinking about going Rasta maybe? Next thing you know, am I going to see Bull rolling something on the side?
With dreadlocks
With
and stuff?
dreadlocks? What's the deal here?
No,
I'm gonna keep my hair the way it is.
shaved.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, Jeff, do you have any insight about this? You've known Bull a long time. You know he's a Casanova. And, we wish you nothing but the best, Colonel. We love you down here. I just hope you know what you're getting yourself into and stuff.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to share a very happy birthday to a young lady that she should be listening to us. I'd like to wish one of my co-workers, Lindsay, happy 29th birthday, dear. We love you.
29.
Wait, is Lindsay cute?
Yeah, she
You
is.
haven't told me about Lindsay
Yeah,
yet.
Lindsay-
What's going on here, Bull?
No.
You holding out on me?
No, Lindsay is taken by a nice gentleman.
Ah.
Unbelievable,
That's
Colonel. Maybe you can go double dating with Lindsay and her fine gentleman, and you and the Rastafarian.
TC and Jeff, listen.
Okay.
I just thought of something.
Uh-oh. That's bad news.
No, this is good. This is good. I think we've just found the next most interesting man in the world.
Oh, well,
Right? No, think about it. The original one has retired.
Oh, that's true.
They are looking for the new most interesting man in the world. Look at it. Right there. That is living proof. He is. He could be. Stay thirsty, my friends. Stay thirsty. Think about it. He would be perfect for it.
Okay, you want to have a thirsty story with Colonel Bull Montana? All right, it's not the one from Montreal. It's not going to be that one, Colonel. But about 15, actually, no, more than that, about 18 years ago, you and I were coming back from some event in southern Connecticut. Now, for those of you who haven't been on the Mass Pike, there's really nothing open, after
McDonald's.
hours. Not even that. I mean,
That's right, yeah.
they're few and far between. This was in the winter too.
Ooh.
So all the way home, I heard, "I'm so thirsty. I can't last any longer. I'm never gonna make it. I'm thirsty." All right, so that's in southern Connecticut. We're now making our way up the Mass Pike through Massachusetts, and for those of you who've ever been on the Mass Pike, that road never ends because they have how many
sucks.
how many miles into Boston? It's like 50, 40, and it's counted down. It's just annoying. So all the way home, I kept hearing, "I'm thirsty. I need something to drink." Blah, 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 blah. You even wanted me to pull over so you could take a handful out of a snow pile and eat that. I wasn't going to do that on the Mass Pike. So long story short, we get to beautiful and scenic Revere, Massachusetts, to the gas station right next to the Squire nightclub.
Oh, yeah, the Squires.
All right, now, Bull was thirsty, right? We've all established that in this story, right? He runs into the store. I mean, literally runs into the store. And do you know what he came out with?
Milk.
4 hot dogs. All the way. I heard nothing but, "I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty." Now, Colonel, I've never asked you this. Now, why didn't you buy yourself a Gatorade or water? Why did you buy 4 hot dogs?
Because sometimes when you're in your mind, when you lose your mind like that, you never can tell.
You lost your mind from thirst, so it became hunger. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, long
Hot dogs can be juicy, though.
they could be. There are a lot of juices in hot
touchy
dogs.
subject with hot dogs here. Let's not talk about hot dogs.
All right, speaking of that, Colonel, unbelievable. Like I said, fans from all over the world are impressed with your barbecue smoothie techniques.
What did Big Lou say?
Big Lou couldn't believe it. I think Big Lou was flabbergasted by it. Why a lot of people that I know out there, the people in England actually tweeted the video to Adam Richmond, the guy from Man vs. Food. I don't know if he's watched it yet, but he is aware of the barbecue smoothie challenge. You should be, Bull vs. Food or something down here.
I'm going to tell you right now,
Okay.
Adam Richmond, if you're out there listening, I will challenge you to any kind of eat up on your show.
He doesn't have a show anymore, but maybe you can come on this podcast and have it.
Yeah.
That's a bold challenge.
Now, I've seen that dude eat a lot of strange stuff, a lot of hot things, like jalapeno peppers and all that other
world's
crap.
hottest pepper.
Right. You did that once before.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was on a talk show
a long time ago.
20 years ago. They gave you like an atomic pepper, and his eyes watered. You could have been drinking your tears instead of hot dogs that night. Unbelievable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our big first-time commercial break, and we come back. I have a question for the entire panel. Who would you like to see as president of the United States from that galaxy far, far away? We'll be right back. This is the After Hours with TC Restani podcast.
Hi, I'm Sunny Leone, and you're watching After Hours with TC Restani.
All righty, welcome back from that big-time commercial break. It is the presidential season here on, in the United States of America and right here on After Hours with TC Restani, the podcast. We really don't like to talk about politics that much down here because we really don't care that much, but we are going to have like a presidential thing kind of in a couple of weeks down here after all the conventions and whatnot took place. I mean, this past week was the Republican convention.
This was a tough week.
And then the next week is going to be the Democratic one. But a friend of ours came up with an idea. He goes, now, you guys are Star Wars fans. We all are Star Wars fans down here, even the Colonel, even though he's never seen it. And come up with a question. And here's the question I'm asking everybody here on the panel. And I'd also like to get the responses from people out there who follow us on Twitter at After Hours TC. The question is, what Star Wars character would you like to see as president of the United States of America?
Ooh.
All right, that's a good question. Now, Colonel, since you are the #1 fan of Star Wars down there, all right, I'm going to ask you, which character from any of the 7 Star Wars movies that are out to date would you like to see as president of the United States and why?
My pick would be Chewie, which is Chewbacca, I believe.
You are correct. Chewbacca the Wookiee.
Yeah.
Now, why Chewbacca, Bull?
Well, because I like the way his character is.
You like the way he grunts and stuff, kind of like you. You could be a good Wookiee down there. Okay. Now, here's an interesting Chewbacca story that a lot of people out there don't know, and I'm glad that you picked Chewbacca, Bull, because back in 1999, you and I were down in the Big Apple, New York City, at one of these Comic-Cons, and you had no idea who Chewbacca was. But we're outside of the convention center. It was on West 18th Street, as a matter of fact. I don't know why I remember all these facts, but you went up to a guy who was about 7'2" and bummed a cigarette off of him. Now, after you got the cigarette, I go, Bull, do you have any idea who you just bummed a cigarette off of? And you go, I got no idea. You bummed it off of Peter Mayhew, the actor who played Chewbacca.
Correct.
Now, what is that like? I mean, what inspired you to go up to this guy who was minding his own business outside, smoking a cigarette, and you just happened to go up to Chewbacca and bum one off him?
I go, sir, I'm awful sorry because I needed one from that long ride on that.
Yeah, that was a long bus ride. I sat next to you for 4.5 long hours on that bus. Now, Colonel, I mean, you had no idea who that was, did you?
No, but there was another gentleman. I believe he was outside there. I believe it was that Maul or someone like that.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, he was outside there. But he's Ray Park. He's a health freak and a stuntman. He wasn't smoking a cigarette. But I mean, this was before cell phones and with cameras and whatnot. I wish I had one back then because that would have been a priceless picture. You're about 5'6" and Chewbacca's about 7'2", and you're out there smoking cigarettes in New York City. Unbelievable. But you would have picked Chewbacca. Now, what do you think Chewbacca would do about all these illegal immigrants if he was president?
Well, I don't know what he would do, though.
Well,
I know what he would do. He'd rip people's arms out of
actually,
their
no.
sockets.
I think Chewbacca personally, because his people were quote-unquote persecuted by the Empire. Knowing him, he'd probably open the gates, let them all in.
Really?
I personally think so. I associate Chewbacca with, like, people from Central America.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, since you're on the subject right now, Vinny Capelli, what Star Wars character would you like to see as President of the United States, and why?
Simple. The man himself, Darth Vader.
Okay. Why Darth Vader? Because he was kind of a failure, if you think about it.
No, actually, personally, I think it was only a failure when he was trying to be compassionate and a good guy. Let's face it, Darth Vader's the greatest villain of all time. But Vader would have been smart. First off, anybody who got out of line, force choke. So think about it. Say Vladimir Putin decides he's going to step up and pull some crap, right?
Yeah.
Vader's going to he's going to pull him on the TV and go, Putin, how dare you? And he's just going to force choke him, right? Anybody get in his cabinet, they're like, don't frighten us with your sorcerous ways, Lord Vader. He just shut him right up. You do what I say. No, I associate Vader a lot like Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
Yes. No, I associate him because Vader is a take no crap kind of guy.
Right.
Reagan was a no crap kind of guy. You know what? That's what this country needs, is a no crap kind of person. Not the moron that's running now.
Okay, so you want Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, as President of the United States.
Absolutely.
Because he can torture people.
Not because he could torture people, because he just takes
Well, I don't think he can, because he's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
Yeah, but in the end, he still was compassionate.
He was compassionate. I mean, he did save his son from the Emperor
and
whatnot, and became a Force ghost and whatnot. So now he's a force to reckon with,
so
I guess.
Deep down inside, he does have good feelings.
He does. So you're going
He's
with...
a lot like me, if you think about it. On the outside, I appear to be this, some of you people, no, not you, but some people think I'm like this evil person or this, maniacal or...
Well, you have the same haircut as Anakin when he got all torched up.
I really do.
There you go.
A little less burnt, but,
Well, go outside today and you get a sunburn.
But in the end, you know how it is.
All right. South Boston Jeff, what Star Wars character do you want to see as President of the United States, and why?
Well, I guess I would pick Obi-Wan because he's been around the universe and everything, and he knows all these different types of aliens. He knows the Force and everything. I just think Obi-Wan knows what has a good idea of how to straight. If he didn't die, if he wasn't killed by Vader, what a running mate he would have been.
Hillary knows a lot of aliens too, I heard.
Now,
speaking of Hillary, I think that's comparing Hillary to Leia. No. I'd say Leia would.
You just ruined my childhood. I had an image of Hillary Clinton in Jabba the Hutt's slave bikini outfit. Oh.
But wait a second. So honestly, you'd go with Obi-Wan because he likes all the aliens?
Now which version of Obi-Wan? Young Obi-Wan or old
Good
Obi-Wan?
question.
I would say around old Obi-Wan, around Episode 4, right before he died,
Right before he dies.
Like this episode. We're at Episode 4.
That's right. So you're talking Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi as President of the United States.
Yeah,
Because he's traveled. He's been around.
Yeah, I was thinking of it, and I was thinking of all the candidates, and who would Lando Calrissian is a lot like Obama. I was thinking.
Oh, that'd be a waste.
Actually, Obama's a lot like Darth Vader. They all have two different names because
Yes.
Barack Obama is not his real name, kind of like Darth Vader was not Anakin Skywalker's real name.
Exactly, I
Barack
agree.
Obama is Barry Soetoro's stage presidential name. Look it up, folks. So you're going with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, yeah, I was thinking of Luke though, but it couldn't be.
Well, he became a basket case, Luke.
Can you see it though? Can you see it now? The people at the convention. Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope. Yeah, I can see it now at a convention.
Well, didn't Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama, have that on his first campaign? Only Hope or New Hope or whatever it was?
a new
Hope or something?
Yeah, hope, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a slogan that would be. I could picture the signs. He's our only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi for president. I could see the signs in the picket right now.
Well, that's a good choice there. I'm gonna have to go with if
Now,
I
this
had
would be interesting.
if I had to pick who I want to see as a Star Wars character as President of the United States. Now, we all know that politicians are all corrupt. I mean, just look in Star Wars.
Palpatine.
Senator Palpatine.
Jar Jar Binks was corrupt.
Oh, he was too. But he was. But Palpatine was corrupt, and he manipulated people behind the scenes, like a true politician.
Exactly.
But the guy I'm going to pick was in your face. He didn't care what you thought, and he didn't care what anybody did to him either. I'm talking as President of the United States.
Mace Windu.
Jabba the Hutt.
All right, gotta hear why.
Okay. All right. Look at Jabba the Hutt. All right. He was a mobster, a criminal. Most politicians are criminals, right?
There's nothing wrong with being mobsters and criminals.
Okay, well, maybe in your family tree. But, I mean, he did what he wanted to do. If he had a grudge against, can you imagine if Jabba the Hutt was president of the United States and who's that guy in Korea? Kim Jong-won or whatever?
Dim Dong Do.
Okay. He would go over, he would send one of his mercenaries over there.
Who would he send?
Boba Fett.
Thank you.
And this Kim Jong-un would be hanging on the White House wall in carbonite right now.
That would actually be pretty
How
cool.
awesome would that be? If all the nuts and terrorists and whatnot in this world that pissed off Jabba the Hutt, they'd be on his wall, frozen in carbonite, and then if he was really pissed off at him, he'd throw him into the Sarlacc pit. Gone.
And think about it. Thinking about it now, think about his first lady. You'd have Slave Girl.
Oh, that's right. He'd have Princess Leia in her slave outfit in front of him doing anything. I mean, he had everything. Jabba the Hutt had everything. He didn't care about what he looked like. He eats when he wants to. He burped inside his own. Imagine that in the White House. Jabba the Hutt just sitting there burping and farting all day, having half-naked broads dancing in front of him, bounty hunters at his beck and call to do whatever he wants.
Which is like the CIA.
Right, hanging criminals in his mind, in a lot of people's mind, on his wall, and it would be fantastic.
And he was the Force didn't affect him.
No, because the Jedi mind tricks did not work on him.
A Sith Lord did affect him because they were Jedi mind tricks. But there is proven fact that when Darth Vader interacted with Jabba the Hutt, Jabba felt the Force.
Well, you're dealing with Darth Vader there. You're not dealing with,
And again, that's why Darth Vader would win in the end.
When did Jabba feel the force of Darth Vader?
Read the new. Now I have read. You got to read the new comics, which are part of the new canon. Read the new comics, especially the Darth Vader one, and it actually ties in some of the story now for those Star Wars fans of how Darth Vader actually learns about Luke Skywalker. And
Really?
who Luke Skywalker is, and actually the person who informs him who Skywalker was, the name, Boba Fett.
Now, he would have a beef anyway because his mother was owned by Gardula the Hutt.
Yes.
So he has a long history.
And it was one of the last time. It was actually one of the last times he was on Tatooine.
Unbelievable. So that's what I would think. I would
Jabba the Hutt, I
Jabba
like
the
it.
Hutt as president of the
I think
United
all
States.
the choices here were pretty good. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that makes sense too.
I would definitely go with old Obi-Wan because
Obi-Wan, not
young Obi-Wan really didn't have the
But
balls to do anything.
There is one person.
And Ewan McGregor's kind of a dick in person. I said it.
But all right, so real quickly, you don't have to maybe explain, but who's the one person you would not want to see as president from Star Wars universe?
Okay, for who I would not want to see?
The one person you would not want to see as president.
A C-3PO.
Okay.
Oh, Yoda.
I say, I don't know.
You don't know? How about your lookalike down there, Dex Dexter there, Dex Jester, whatever his name was, the diner owner from episode 2. Oh, Obi-Wan.
yeah.
Doesn't he look just like him?
Dexter, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, you look just like him. They based that on Ernest Borgnine, but I think George Lucas was secretly watching our show back then, and he based it on you. Because anybody out there who knows you look just like that dude who owned the diner in episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
I think on mine,
Yeah?
it would have to be George Lucas. You want to know why?
Sure.
Because he sold it, and he would sell us out. He sold it.
Like a lot of politicians have sold us down the river.
Truthfully, it would be Jar Jar Binks. I would not have Jar Jar Binks. Sorry.
Well, Jar Jar Binks is...
I would assassinate Jar Jar Binks myself.
Really?
I'm going on record right now. If Jar Jar Binks is ever elected somehow in some universe,
He
a
was.
parallel universe,
He was.
elected president of the United States, I personally will grab my AR-15 that I currently have, that the AG can't take away from me, and I will shoot him personally in the head, just for everybody. And I think I'd get a medal for it.
So you go Lee Harvey Oswald on Jar Jar Binks.
Absolutely.
Okay, unbelievable. So out there, I want to know, the listening audience out there, which Star Wars character would you like to see as President of the United States, and why? Now, you can tweet your answers to us at After Hours TC. That's Twitter at After Hours TC. All right, may the force be with us on all of our presidential picks, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a big-time commercial break. Then I have another question sent in from a fan.
Hi, this is Leah Thompson, and you're watching After Hours with TC Restani.
All righty, welcome back from that big-time commercial break. Jar Jar Binks is still alive from what I was told, Vinny. I mean, you haven't gotten to him yet.
Listen, I can make a phone call. It can be taken care of.
Even in a
pretty
galaxy
quickly.
far, far away, huh?
Listen, I have connections everywhere. You know me well enough to know I got enough connections.
I do know that. Okay. I have a question here from one of our fans out there who wanted me to remain anonymous out there because he wants to send in a lot of questions and he doesn't want people bothering him. So that's, we understand that. Okay. All right. This is the question. And I'm going to answer it first, but this is the question. If you had a choice, what animal would you like to be killed by?
What?
All right, maybe that's why he didn't want to know who sent this in, because some sicko out there, he's a longtime close personal friend of the show's, and I understand
Did
why.
Quincy send this
No,
in?
he did not.
Okay.
He wants to stay anonymous. So here's a question again for those of you who are just tuning in. If you had a choice, what animal would you like to be killed by? All right, I'm going to answer this because I've always been fascinated by this, and ever since 1975. If I had to go and it was by the hands or jaws of an animal, I would definitely want to be taken out by a great white shark off of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh.
What?
Dude, please, I have a photo. You know me. I don't like I don't like the ocean, and and it's because of Jaws. I love Jaws, but I don't go to the ocean,
Right.
Because there are sharks in the ocetion.
Well,
Big sharks.
Well, there's sharks that that hang around that club, but that's a different type.
That's
of
a different type of shark.
But yeah, I would. I've always wanted to be. If I found out tomorrow I had like some terminal disease and I only had like 24 hours to live, I'm going right down to Martha's Vineyard with rare roast beef duct taped to me.
They are there, by the way.
And I'm jumping in that water and I'm going down like Quint. That's what I'm doing. That's how I want to go. That's the
No,
animal.
you got to go on a boat and do that, like Quint. You got to get the knife out, and you got to do the kicking.
Do you really think a shark is going to breach the water and destroy a boat?
No, but quickly.
I seen one. Sorry to interrupt, but I seen one tear apart a helicopter one time.
That was Jaws 2.
And they tore apart a plane, which was Jaws 4. But quick note,
Quick note.
okay? We're talking about great whites.
Great whites.
Last year, if anybody watched Shark Week,
Which would've been-
Shark-
which would've
which
been-
I watch all the time, they actually have on record the largest female great white shark ever captured on videotape. Now, when I tell you this thing, they said was about 20 feet long. Now, Jaws was 25 feet from the dorsal to the tail.
That's a 20 footer, 25, 3 tons of them.
So, there was about a 20-foot female great white
And
shark.
where was this? Had to have been Australia or South Africa.
I think it was South Africa. I'm not sure. You can look it up. It's out there, but look it up. Biggest great white shark ever caught on camera. This thing was about 4 humans long.
4 humans long.
Yes, they have a picture of the guys in the cage.
Yeah.
This thing was 3 times the size. It was amazing.
I love Shark Week. My favorite part is, you ever seen Air Jaws?
Oh, I love Air Jaws.
Air Jaws
I love
is the
it.
best.
I love watching on TV. Just don't get me up close.
Now, for those of you who don't know what Air Jaws is, great white sharks were videotaped in the last 25 years of breaching the ocean, actually jumping out of the...
Like dolphins,
Just jumping out. And you imagine seeing that? A 20-foot great white
Not
shark.
really, no, I'm all
I mean,
set.
I would love to see that. I mean,
sure you would.
Okay, like I said, if I found out I have brain cancer and I only have 24 hours to do, we're all getting on a jet, going to South Africa, and we're doing this live on Periscope, where I'm going to jump in and get destroyed by a great white shark. I think that, how many hits do you think that would get? Now, Colonel, you're looking at me perplexed down there. All right, let me ask the question. I know you're still thinking of your Jamaican sweetheart, or probably
No.
gas from your from the barbecue
I
smoothie.
get a great animal for this.
Okay, well, let me ask the question again in case someone's just
Good.
tuning in. Colonel Bull Montana, if you had a choice, what animal would you like to be killed by? And you can't say a bull either.
No, be a rhinoceros.
A rhinoceros. Okay.
Why a rhino?
Now, yeah, why a rhino? And it means you're going to have to book a plane ride to Africa or somewhere, because it's the only place I think that rhinoceros are, or a zoo. All right, go ahead.
Because you know the rhinoceros could tear down the fence and all that.
The rhinoceros could probably tear down a lot of things more than a fence, yeah. So what do you inside a pen or something, and it's going to come in and attack you?
Oh, I mean, just say you're walking at a zoo, you never could tell. There might be a little piece of the fence broken. You never could tell.
Never can tell. You never know. The rhino could have a key or something.
No.
But Jeff? What is the most famous cartoon rhinoceros?
The cartoon rhinoceros, would that be Tundra from the Herculoids?
That would
I'd say Herculoids.
That would
Yes,
exactly be who I'm thinking of there.
Wow, well, I had to bat my brain for that. Congratulations, all right.
So, Colonel, back to the rhino. You think a rhino has a key? It's going to come into some pen where you're at. But I
No.
mean, how would you want to be killed by the rhino?
Do you want it to gore you or just like stomp you?
You never could tell. It might go you from the front of the tusk there,
Right.
from the front there.
So a bull versus a rhino, huh? That'd be something good to see. I think that'd be good on pay-per-view. So a rhinoceros. So of all the animals in the world, Colonel Bull Montana wants to be taken out by a rhinoceros. All right.
Quick note real quick.
yes.
Another one. Just last week, for the first time in I think 30 years, a mariachi was killed by a bull.
Isn't that a band?
No, you know the whatever they're called. The guy.
You mean the matador?
The matadors. I'm sorry, the matadors. Yes.
Okay.
The matadors. A matador was killed for the first time in like 30 years by a bull.
Not
Bull
Bull Montana.
It was pretty good too.
Okay, Vinny Capelli. Any animal in the world you have to be killed by, what is it?
You ready for this one?
Sure.
You're gonna blow your mind. A Wendigo.
A what?
A Wendigo. You know what that is?
Isn't that
Bigfoot.
A Bigfoot? I thought that was Sasquatch.
A Sasquatch, Bigfoot, same thing. That's what.
A Wendigo.
Yeah,
I've never.
That's like the abominable snowman version.
Okay.
You know why?
No.
Because I would be famous. Because it would be on record that they exist, and I was the first one on record killed by it.
Oh, I believe that there's Bigfoots and all that other Loch Ness monsters and abdominal snowmen and out there. But Bigfoot, huh? So you'd have to go to like the Pacific Northwest.
Absolutely.
And we'd have to have cameras on you 24 hours a
Yeah,
day.
I could do like a reality show. That's what I like that stupid idiot that got eaten by the snake and it was garbage. Remember that one?
No, I
The
don't
guy
remember that one.
Oh, that was last year. The guy got eaten by a snake and then he survived, and the snake regurgitated him. He stayed
Oh,
alive.
really?
Oh yeah, it was retarded.
So there's a show called Finding Bigfoot. So you want to be called Killed by Bigfoot or
Yep.
Wiped Out by Bigfoot.
Yep, wiped out by Bigfoot. The best thing about the show is I want to drink with him first.
You want to drink with Bigfoot?
I want to do a shot with him.
like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yep, I want to do a shot with him. I'm gonna say, all right, go ahead and do it, and I want to just take me out, but it's all on camera. And then I can say the very first person ever killed on video camera by Bigfoot, and now we have living proof that it exists. Vinny Capelli.
That's a good. That's a damn good way to go. Being killed by Bigfoot.
reality show. I go out with style. Think about it.
Right.
Never forgotten.
Right. You know, Ripley's Believe It or Not with Vinnie Capelli. Unbelievable. South Boston Jeff, you have an animal that would you'd love to be killed by.
Well, first, I would. Do you have to be killed by the animal?
You have to. That's the question.
All right.
That's the
I was
question.
going to say a whale, and I would be swallowed, and then it'd be in the belly of a whale like Pinocchio, but damn, I have to be killed. Okay. So now let me rethink this. I would have to say, all right, a panther. Or one of those really big, ferocious cats, but it couldn't be a lion. It would have to be a panther or a jaguar.
What about a tiger?
Well, it could be a tiger also and everything, and because I happen to be a big fan of the movie Cat People with Malcolm McDowell and Nastasia Kinski, and there's something very spiritual about big, huge cats, and I picture being before being mauled. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna try to fight off a huge cat because they're pretty fast, especially with their huge paws.
You know what race was afraid of cats? Egyptians.
Egyptians, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I know, but
mummies. Well, Egyptians they believed that the cats actually kept away the dark spirits of like a mummy.
Okay.
So it's more the mummies. The cats were actually revered in Egypt versus nowadays they're revered like dogs are in Southeast Asia.
yeah.
or Tiki Island.
All right, there you go.
So I do kind of figure that if I am killed by one of these huge things, I would cross over into another world, another realm of the cat people, and that's what that movie is all about. And plus, I want to bang Nastasia Kinski.
Hey,
There you go.
I just thought of something.
Okay, yeah.
Jeff could star in Jungle Book Part 2. Because remember, there's a tiger trying to kill the kid, and it's being protected by a panther. Well, one of them. He could be like that. That could be the kid.
Really? Unbelievable.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot better movie than Greystoke, the Tarzan movie.
Greystoke, Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes.
That wasn't the one with Bo Derek, was it?
No, that was actually a good one. That was
she
the
was
one
naked
with
throughout the
Christopher
entire-
Lambert. Yeah, Christopher
You really
Lambert.
thought Bo Derek was good looking?
Back in 1984. Did you ever see the movie Bolero?
Of course. It's just she did nothing for me.
You don't remember the line from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? You see the new Playboy? No, Bo Derek's tits. So, Colonel, a rhino, huh? I'm fascinated by that. I can see you nodding your head down there like a rhino right now.
That's what makes him the most interesting man in the world. A rhino versus a bull.
All right, so we have a great white shark for me, Bigfoot for Vinnie Capelli, a rhino for Colonel Bull Montana, and a panther for South Boston Jeff.
And he'll do for Skeletor, too. Skeletor had a very nice panther.
Yes, he did. Skeletor did have a nice panther.
unbelievable.
But He-Man had the better one. He-Man had Battle Cat.
He did have Battle Cat, which we talked about a couple episodes
we
ago.
did.
where
Who was
we-
also Cringer, and that reminds me of our good friend Bull. So,
Which was a saber-toothed tiger, somewhat.
Unbelievable. All right, we're going to take our final big-time commercial break, and we'll be right back. This is the After Hours with T.C. Restani, the podcast. Dun, 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 dun.
Hi, my name is Allison Wade, Playboy's Miss May 2006, and you're watching After Hours with T.C. Restani. Enjoy.
All righty, welcome back from that big-time commercial break. Vinnie Capelli, during that commercial break, you really, really are petrified by sharks. You really don't like them at all, do you?
I love watching them on TV, except for Sharknado. That was stupid.
Oh, I love Sharknado.
I think that was stupid.
Who's the girl in Sharknado? Not Tara Reid.
don't
The
know.
other
They're
one?
just-
She's fantastic.
they're all stupid.
I want to be inside a shark with her. Let's just put it that
Of
way.
course
The,
you-
the chick from Sharknado 1 and 3. So I think her name is Nova in the movies or whatever it was. Whatever she is, she can get inside a great white shark with me.
It's just, listen, I have a thing. I have a fear. I'm not going to lie. My biggest fear is the last way I want to go, and I watched that movie, The Perfect Storm, and I'll tell you.
Drowning?
No, it's just being stranded in the middle of the ocean with nothing and floating, going down. You know what?
Like Titanic?
Titanic, yes.
Well, that one you would
But-
have froze to death.
Yeah, but still, it's just, look, sharks fascinate me, but the ocean, knowing that they're in it, scares the living hell out of me.
All right, do you know where the first place in the world I saw a shark was?
SeaWorld,
Nope.
the aquarium.
Nope, not the aquarium. All right?
It wasn't the Atlantic Lounge on Revere Beach,
No,
was it?
it wasn't that one. The first place I ever saw a shark was in Las Vegas, Nevada. Not a loan shark,
or a cod shark.
or the cod, not the game show, the cod shark, but at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. You know, the Mandalay Bay is where I always stay in Las Vegas. If you're ever going to go out there in Las Vegas, we're staying in the Mandalay Bay for one reason and one reason only. If you look at it from above, it looks like the flux capacitor. and that's why I stay at the Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
When I was in Las Vegas, years and years ago, they opened up an aquarium. It was actually in a shark tank at the Mandalay Bay, and that was the very first time I ever saw a shark up close, and I saw it in the desert in Las Vegas, hundreds and thousands of miles away from any ocean.
Now, I have seen a shark, not a great white, but I have seen a shark. The first shark I saw was actually at Atlantis, down at Nassau.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we were down there for a weekend. The place is beautiful. We had one of the penthouse suites up there. It was amazing.
Not as good as the podcast penthouse.
Not as good as the podcast, but was one of the penthouse suites. But downstairs, they have one of the biggest aquariums ever created. And there are sharks in there. And there was like a 7-foot shark in there. This thing was huge.
All right, Vinny Capelli. We're now in the final weeks of the month of July. It is summertime. Before the end of the summer, would you go down to the Cape, out on a boat, with me, Bull, Jeff, and the rest of the crew, and go shark hunting? Not hunting, but like a shark watch, like a whale watch. Would you do that?
Absolutely, I would do
You
it.
would do
I'm
that.
fascinated, like I said. I'm fascinated if the boat was big enough, because I ain't going on the Orca. Forget about it.
Do you know there's actually, you can take tours in South Africa, or I believe in Australia, where, and even I think off of San Francisco,
You go in a shark cage.
you go in a shark cage.
Yes.
And you actually get to go.
I know somebody doing it.
Really? Who is
Yes.
this?
Somebody I used to work with, somebody I was associated with, if you know what I mean.
Was he in Alcatraz?
No, come on.
All right.
But somebody I know, an associate, is actually going to do it.
Well,
it's on his bucket list, and he is already planning it, and he's doing it in 2 years. It costs huge money.
How much?
He said it was. I mean, not. This isn't just including the plane flight. I'm talking the whole, bang and caboodle,
the whole package.
The whole package. It's costing about $3,500.
That ain't that much.
It's still a lot of money.
My
well,
first
here's the thing. There's no
HDTV
guarantee
was-
you're coming back.
My first HDTV was about that
That's true.
cost.
That's how much they cost back then. But yeah, he's doing
Well,
it.
you
He's
can-
going off the west coast of Australia, where that is where the biggest amount of great white shark activity is.
Give me this dude's information, because that is on my bucket list. I'd love to do it off of Martha's Vineyard, just because I can say that's where it happened in Jaws and
Well,
whatnot.
you can go on. That's where it is. Chatham,
Right.
Plymouth. Right now, there are great whites.
Oh, we have to leave here and head down there, because I'm fascinated by great whites. I want to see one. I have to touch a great white, not be its lunch or anything, but I have to grab a dorsal fin to say that I touched a great white shark before I check out of this mortal plane here. That's what I want to do.
There's something mentally wrong with you.
Okay. No, actually, there's something mentally wrong with some of our questions out there from our viewers, and these people are very near and dear to me, but that's probably why they're out of their minds. All right, this one comes from the Badass Lowell brothers, and they want. They know we're big fans down here of anything 80s and whatnot, and they want us on a future episode. All right, what 80s movies thing could we recreate down here? I'm gonna ask Vinny and Jeff telepathically. I'm going to send it to you. What do you think? The Badass Lowell brothers want us. What 80s classic scene in a movie do they want us to recreate down here? The entire panel. Vinny Capelli.
What classic 80s movie scene do they want us to recreate? Well,
Right.
my mind goes immediately towards the Breakfast Club, but then something's telling me Weird Science and create
Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock.
I don't know if we could actually do that, even with the way of the technology we
Okay,
have
if
today.
not that, then let's do the scene from Back to the Future.
Which scene would that be?
The first, the biggest one of them all, where he first sees the DeLorean,
Yeah.
and Doc gets killed, and you got
I don't know how we-
bastards.
I don't know how we could recreate that on the podcast. I mean, if we're going to do anything from Back to the Future, I'm going to be locked in a car with Leah Thompson. That's the only thing that I know we're
All
going
right,
to recreate.
all right. So maybe the Breakfast Club.
Okay, well, that's a good guess. Jeff, what do you think? I know you're sick.
Well, how about I'd like to see some. We'll go down to the Daphne gym and recreate the scene. The scene where Scott turns into the wolf for the first time in Teen Wolf,
Okay,
and then takes over the basketball game.
Okay, I got a question. How are we going to recreate that on the podcast? And
Boomerang Chastain.
Who's going to turn into a werewolf?
Boomerang.
Oh damn! I wasn't thinking that we have to recreate.
Yeah,
it
this
here
is
in the
something we could
studio.
actually do on the podcast. I mean, if you want to turn into a werewolf on radio, go ahead. No one's going to see it. But Bull, do you have any idea of what the Badass Lowell brothers want us to recreate down here on the show?
Well, I'll agree with Mr. Capelli on
Well, you'd be wrong because he's wrong. So why would you
I mean,
agree with him?
but when Scott turned into the gorilla there on the basketball.
Okay, I'm amazed that you knew his name was Scott, Michael J. Fox's name, but he didn't turn into a gorilla. He turned into a werewolf.
I mean,
But he's wrong too. You can't recreate that on the show, Bull. I mean,
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you give us at least a hint? Give us one of the actors from the movie that they want us to recreate.
okay, any actor I give away, Jeff is going to get it in seconds. In seconds.
All right, so Jeff can't answer then.
All right, Jeff can't answer. You're out of this, Jeff, because you'll know this in about 2 seconds.
All right.
Okay. All right. Curtis Armstrong.
Curtis Armstrong.
Curtis Armstrong. He was. You ever see Better Off Dead?
I haven't. I don't remember
Okay.
it.
Did you ever see? What other?
One Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer.
Yes. I
Okay.
remember One Crazy Summer.
All right. He was also in Risky Business,
Yep, Risky Business.
and I can't give away the movie because that's the answer. All right. All right. It has something to do with gas.
The gas.
Gas.
Like fighting gas?
You're close. Yeah. Just think of the other end.
Oh, burping.
Right.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds.
You got it.
Okay.
The badass Lowell brothers want us, everybody on the panel, including Hollywood Joel and whoever else wants to be on
Recreate the belching
to
contest.
recreate the belching contest from Revenge of the Nerds to see who down here can do the best burp.
That's a very interesting.
we could do
I
that.
could do that.
I
yeah.
could do that, yeah.
I could win that, but
probably would, but
Bull's a pretty tough competitor to go up against that
But
guy.
Hollywood Joel can belch out too.
Now, the only person I would suggest that we have on the show, but we can't have him because he'll win automatically. You don't know who this is, and you do, but Jeff and I know. Our good friend Derek C. He when he burps, he makes a room vibrate.
yeah.
All right, he's ineligible for this because he'd win. He could.
All right, so it has to be us. Has
He
to
lives
be
up
our
in New
panel.
Hampshire. And I bet if we called him right now, his burp would be louder over the phone than any of us in person. So, excuse me. So I'm thinking, not this episode, but maybe in a couple weeks down the line, we're gonna have the After Hours with TC Restani Revenge of the Nerds burping contest. Are you all in?
Oh, I'm definitely.
I'm in.
I'm in for that.
You are in for that, Colonel?
Yes.
All right, because you can't have anything to eat or anything, because I don't want any junk flying out of you onto the podcast penthouse table down
Don't
here.
worry, buddy.
Okay.
I've met more of the cast of Revenge of the Nerds than anybody in this room. When Curtis Armstrong met him.
Actually, I was there at all the times you met them because who took your pictures with them?
Oh, sorry. And who
So
recorded the video of me singing the Lambda Lambda
That
theme
would-
song
that
with
would be-
Lamar himself?
That would be true. If you want to see that, for those of you out there who don't know what we're talking about, the 1984 classic Revenge of the Nerds, at the ending where they were doing their little song and dance routine, they sang, what was the song, Jeff?
Well, it's just we just called the Revenge of the Nerds theme.
Like the rap or something that they did?
The Nerds rap.
And
yeah.
and you did it with Lamar Luttrell and Wormser in real life, and it's been documented on video on our YouTube channel. You can actually see Jeff do "We're Lambda, 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 and Omega Mu." That song, remember that one?
Yep.
Jeff actually does.
Wasn't the guy from trying to remember which Revenge of the Nerds it is? I know Ogre was in almost all of them, but the guy from Married with Children.
Ted McGinley.
He was in. That's one he was in, correct?
He was in the first one and I believe the third one.
Yeah, because it was like it became back in the third one. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yes, Bull.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right on that. He was in the third one.
Colonel, you have some water down there. Can you give us a sneak preview of what your burp may sound like? No, a real burp, not a fake one. Chug that down right now. See if you can do it.
With water?
Yeah.
No carbonation. I can give you a fake one.
All right, he's sucking down the water, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's fake. You ain't that. We have to get it. You'll have to drink. You'll have to drink soda or something. Vinny, go ahead. Okay, very good. Jeff, do you have a? Jeff had a preview there. All right, I'm going to save mine for the actual contest. Unbelievable. So thank you to the badass Lowell brothers out there for
challenge.
requesting this challenge, the Revenge of the Nerds burping contest. Yes, Colonel.
Speaking of, I'd like to say hello to two good friends of mine in Alabama.
Who are they?
My buddy Steve and Steve's partner at work, Mark. Hello.
Okay, so you're talking about Steve, the guy who runs BackToTheFuture.com.
That's
and,
right.
And his boss, Mark,
Right.
who's a new fan of yours, and you actually signed a photograph. So Steve and Mark, if you're listening out there, I know Steve is right now at the DeLorean show out in Indianapolis or somewhere out there. You got a big surprise coming down, an autographed photo of Colonel Bull Montana. Now, Colonel, we have an unlimited surplus of 8x10s of you. So anybody who is listening to this podcast worldwide that would like an authentic signed Colonel Bull Montana 8x10, all you got to do is tweet me at After Hours TC, and we'll take care of the postage and handling and send it all over the globe. What do you think about that, Colonel?
That's great, sir.
Any other shout-outs? Because we're wrapping the program up.
Yeah, and I'd like to wish a special happy birthday to the beautiful Lindsay.
Again, here we go
Again.
with Lindsay. She's already taken.
Lindsay.
She's already taken.
You already mentioned at the beginning of the
No.
show.
Yeah, you did. You already said happy birthday to Lindsay.
I told her I would.
She's 29 years old, right?
Right.
I
and she's
told-
already
I-
taken.
already
I
taken.
told her I would give her a double shout out.
A double shout-out.
I got a
Okay,
shout
good.
out. This is one I owe to my boy, Robbie K.
Robbie K.
Yeah, Robbie K is actually headed down to a place called Honduras. And I told him, just be careful and watch out for the pirates.
What's he doing in Honduras?
He's working down there.
Oh, he's working.
No, he's working. He's legitimately working down there. He's trying to make it a better place. But I told him.
Was he dropping a bomb or something?
Yeah,
to get
who
a better
knows, but I
place?
told him, watch out for the pirates, and hopefully you turn your tracker on your phone.
Unbelievable. Jeff, any shout-outs there, buddy?
Oh, I'm just going to give a quick heads up to my two nieces who are out in Amsterdam right now and everything. I want to wish them because there was a bit of a shooting over in Munich.
Well, that's in Germany.
Well, yeah, that's
Close
in
enough,
Germany. It is close. I just hope they're safe and everything. My two nieces, Dazzle and Sunshine, they're opening up their own hash bar over in Amsterdam, and I just want to say good luck to them, and I want to get out to Amsterdam and check out the new family hash bar as soon as I can.
I don't think there'd be a terrorist problem in Amsterdam because between the drugs and the red light district, who'd want to blow up the place? It's such a good place.
Oh yeah, and
Not
they
that I'm-
already
not that I'm
had.
pro-drug,
they already
but-
last month or 2 months ago, they already had their trouble on the subway. So yeah, it's wasting their time. But
And-
I just
and-
want.
I'm with you, Jeff.
And on a future episode, maybe Jeff can give us the details of what happened on his excursion to Amsterdam 20-some-odd years ago.
Oh sure, and everything. I'll.
Because remember, this is After Hours, and we what?
we never close.